Excuse me, good people, whilst I just make sure everything is coming up. As always, waiting for YouTube and Twitch. YouTube is going, waiting for Twitch. Waiting. Hurry along, Twitch, what are you doing to me? There we go, we are good to go, kids. Now, just one more moment and I will commence the session. And here I am. Alright, hey kids, I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. Now, although I'll tell you, last session I was doing so much building, I was doing a lot of frustrating. We'll leave that discussion a bit. Another thing I need to do. Bing. Now, this morning, again, yes, morning my time, I know. Rah. Staghound. Now, we're at, we've got a fair bit of suspension in place. We do a bit more on that, and we will too. Yeah, that's the plan for today. Just more work on the Staghound is the bottom line. I guess working on an armoured car is the main takeaway here. Sorry, a bit of a guy flash there. Have you seen Seamus when he starts dribbling shit? Oh, Jesus, got a broken chair. I've got to get a new one today. Now, boys and girls, are at step 5. Now, this gets a little bit more jiggy, I would suggest, than... okay. Well, you don't necessarily want to watch me reading instruction sheet, or at bare minimum, you're going to want to see what the fuck I'm looking at. God, the fucking thing doesn't break while I'm break. Anyway, guys, light on. Round you go. Let's get you a better view. I should add light up. There, I would say. There we go. And well, partially constructed Staghound, and we're up to this point. Now, what I need to work out. Well, that's okay. So they've got it coming around. Okay. So that's probably going to be the best way to have a look. Okay, we've got D20. Goes to there. There. We may wish to be particular. Okay, that goes to the upper one of those. There's, okay, what I'm waffling about here. Oh, or am I just being... No. Why? Here we go. Here's a question for you guys. Maybe there's something that I'm missing here. I don't know. But, okay, we've got the window there. Window there. So you can safely assume, therefore, in fact, can confirm, boom. Now we have these here. Okay, so there, of course, there are 2 lots of, that would go corresponding. Wow, it's quite an in-depth maneuver they have there. Alright, now hopefully we don't need to paint any, or will be revealed. So we shall give that a bit of a look-see. Now, voice things voiced. Pop that over there. Now we're looking. Oop, I'll zoom you back out. Sorry, guys. The... remember the C, I think. We're looking for 20. The D. Oh. They say I'm a pretty face, but they're wrong. There we go. Boom, 20. Leads me. Include. Oh, and again, they say I'm a pretty face, but they're wrong. Is our numbers that we require, I would expect. In fact, everything we require is on this. Some is already painted, some is not. Right. This is state of play. Ba, 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 ba. So what I'm thinking, now the ones that need to go on forthwith. Is a great word. I don't think 32 and 34 are painted. 18 is painted. Both 18. Yep, really good. I reckon I see that here diagrammatically. They've a little weird in the way they've drawn it, that's all. Oh, it's doing my head in. I'll be right. Now, so we can put D20, D18, D19. Let's do some. There. We have, but that's a mistake into the point. Alright, so what we'll do, we'll put on 18, 19, 20, 16. So I might want to make a slight modification of the painting, which is not going to be a problem. So, hey. That. Right. You tell me that needs to be moved down to there. There in Spain. Having a bad day already. Ooh. Oh no, hang on. Huh? Patience, grasshopper, don't rush in as it should be. Okay. When instructions are not really clear. As far as it should be a certain way, and then they've drawn it differently to how it actually. Right, okay. Now it all, that's looking far more. People doing my own head. What am I doing? Let's say go to one. Annoying. Because I'm just boot. There. Where the fuck? Right, so that's an obvious one. I'm gonna worry about that later because they're ones that need to be. Fuck. That's just a. Okay, let's see what I'm waffling about. They got a part that goes on. Other part goes onto that too. That's fine, but they make it abundantly unfair as to what angle one of the parts goes on. That pisses. Shouldn't be that hard for me to get it through their noggins. Hey, details. Okay. All right, now that I've done in already by this, which is why we do modelling after all. We want to have our head done. All right. Please. Thanks. Let it go. Oh, hey, Minpins, how you doing? A bit of a frustrating day, thus. Yeah. Some of the instructions not as clear as what I would like. Oh, for fuck's sake. What my take on life being person? Hey, you been alright? Since. Let's see. When was like, don't know if you ever got that. Yes. Don't know if you. Okay. Ah, there's how it goes on. Jeez. All right. That. Hero, dear mate. You can hardly hear me. Hang on a moment. Hang on. Whoops, a daisy. Now, give me a moment. How about now? Just try to increase the volume on my microphone. Ah, there we go. Excellent. It could have been a couple of things. It may have been proximity of microphone to my lips, but I also hit this microphone comes with a plus or minus on the volume, and I hit the plus a few times. So yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. Obviously, if it was affecting you, it would affect other people too. And, I'm thinking that once we get a few of these bits on, a few little touches here with a brush and stuff, just to get a bit more consistency in the paintwork would not hurt. I don't think. No, I do think. Do you know what I mean? Were you at the fair today? Oops. Yeah, that's not right. I can tell. That. Give me a picture for that. That's better. Boom. Yep, that's how she should see it. Okay, there's one there. We'll do this side first. Alright, it's over. Pirate invasion. Fantastic. Hey, pirate trivia time. Do you know why they go, "Arr"? And we'll go 18 next. It should be rather easier, I think. The reason pirates go, "Arr," is because they're from Cornwall. It's just they drank a shitload of rum and their voices are fucked. Okay, most of this looks pretty straightforward, actually. In theory, let's where to put that piece. Now, I will probably want, oh no, I can go straight to the other side once I got this side done. Oh, small fiddly pieces, eh, kids? Always a bit of a challenge. But hey. Right at the tip of the trees, apparently. Boom. Well, if I'd glued it, boom. I might give you a bit more. Yeah, just a little. That's probably a good option. There we go. I'm pretty comfortable with this is happening. Or this piece rather. So we'll go ping, ping. Slightly heavy-handed with the glue on one point, but that's okay. People deal. Yep, there we go. Looking a little loose, I'm not entirely happy. Yes, now. Ah. Sorry, I'm making all sorts of strange noises as I have. That's going to make life a little easier, isn't it? I'm getting a bit of a small issue with knocking the axles while they're while I'm moving the all around. So I'm thinking if I just pop it onto this, the axles don't get touched. And they say I'm just a pretty face again. I tell you people, how wrong could they be? Now 19 goes onto that and up there, okay. So we've got a strut that goes, that's really very detailed suspension they're given. That's cool. So now we've got one that goes from here to there. I believe it's the dealio. Hang on, let me just check. No. I've got one that goes to there. I'd say it goes pretty much 16 goes onto there. So it's 20, 19 rather, going on into there. You would have to be thinking, therefore, correspondingly across to there. Yeah, that would make sense. Question I've got is where does the bottom of that go? Because what I'm wondering, give me a moment. Here we go. This is what the what's there. There's the one that goes down. Oh, you can't see what I'm talking about. Hang on. Oh, you can sort of. Okay. So there's the completed mechanism. I'm trying to see that vertical one. And I'm inclined to think that maybe that one actually goes down behind. If, when I say behind, I'm talking about, excuse me, dear oh dear. You'll see how we've got 16 here. Now that goes into there. Ah, and not that. Right. It all makes sense now. I wish I'd stop coughing. Sorry, mate. All right. So we're looking for 19, being this one. Alrighty. I've got on a completely irrelevant note to the Staghound. I've got a whole stack of stuff done on the lake. Actually, got to be a little bit careful. My desk chair was broken on me over the course of the weekend. Wait, it's a process, but you know what I mean. Anyway, and at the moment it's a little wonky, and I've got to wait till the shop's open before I can get a new seat. A new chair, rather. I'm halfway thinking of just getting a nice wooden one, you know. Now, what I'll quickly show you here. These are the well, you can see that's where the propeller will go for the lake, and that's the I think that's the radiators actually. If I zoom in a wee bit, get the light right. I'd already done the chassis black there, and the carc black on the inside. I think I made a mistake. I should have waited for done the carc black second, but I airbrushed gunmetal grey onto the radiators. I'll be putting some tinny tin to get a slightly worn look, but I reckon that's actually come up really quite well. As far as even in that darkness there, you can sort of see there is a difference in there. So if you look, you can see all the joy. I thought I'd show you that because I'm kind of pleased. And here's something that's kind of cool. Because I airbrushed the guns. That's the first time I've ever airbrushed guns. I'm pretty stoked with that, actually. Anyway. Should have maybe thought about gluing that on first before I started talking. Just so I didn't lose it. Now, if I had, I'd have had no one to blame but myself. I don't like having to blame myself. I don't think many people do, actually. Now, tweezers. Well, I've done it again. Tweezers Las Vegas. Okay, yeah, it's not quite right, is it? Let's see. I see. I get the picture. So, again, that needs to go that way around. Oh, well, it needs to be a little straighter, but that is fundamentally how easy it will be. No, it's not right. But it'll be easier once the glue is on, as is so often the case. But then you've still got to make damn sure you're correct. Yeah. Ah. First, let's get that round the right way. That'll always help. That's not helping. Oh, I've got it in my hand, hey. Come on. That needs to sit. Ah, I see the problem I'm having. Hang on a moment. Let me just check something very carefully here. Oh no, it does go into that. Ah, maybe. There. Let me just have a close look at this. Yeah, okay, there's the inherent tissues. Distinct anchor point as there has been with everything else. So that would need to go there, okay. We will. Excuse me a moment. Alrighty. So how many fairs are there a year? Well, okay, you've got the Ren Fair, you've got the Pirates coming up. Sounds like quite an active social calendar on that front. Mind you, I suppose in LA you've got the population to support that sort of a thing. One of the things that's always a bit of a limitation in a smaller place like almost. I see. I think I finally found the anchor point. One of the things that's a bit of a thing in Australia is sheer lack of population. Yeah, this is being very frustrating for me, as I'm sure you can tell. You know, this is where I did some research recently on glues and different types of glues and what they. This is actually starting to frustrate the fuck out of me because of that lack of an anchor point. There's one at one end, but not the other. Okay, this is going to be one of those hit with glue, put maneuver. 12 events a year. Wow, that's cool. Now what I'm thinking, as a quick little aside, I'll put the lid on here while I wax lyrical about this. In this situation, because I did, I went over to a one of my local hobby shops, and they, excuse me, showed me a, I got this surfacer off of them, and they said, look, this range, it's Mr. Hobby. And I've got to say, the surfacer was really good, and I went back and I had a bit of a chat to them about. They've got a whole range of glues, and this is one where a thin glue apparently would be the go, where you're using small pieces and you might need to make some adjustments. It's set and ready to rock for that purpose. This is not thin glue, so we're just going to go. Oops, that's a bit chunky for a punky. There's another ad I don't know if you got in the US. They had, do you remember Penelope Keith? She was in quite a few English programs that may or may not made it to the US, or you may have seen before you left the UK. He was in The Good Life, The Manor Born. Oh, this thing is pissing me now. Anyway, she did this Heinz commercial where she was making apparently chunky chicken soup for her niece. This is really starting to do my head in. It's not the point using these fucking tweezers, is it? They've all got glue on them. There we go. I think that's about right. There we go. Finally. Bloody annoying that. Anyway, yeah. And the line that, because of course the niece is this punk figure. Well, that's the way she's portrayed. She serves the chunky chicken soup. It's chunky for a punk here. So if you ever hear me trot out that line, that's where it's from. It's from the Heinz commercial that we got over here, which you may or may not have gotten in the US. I'd say you might have seen it in the UK if it was out before you left. That's at a guess. Alright, now, I don't think I've painted 42, so we'll come back to that. Oh, fuck's sake. If that's knocked anything off, I'm going to be very grumpy. It has not. Which is actually kind of reassuring in its way. Now, I may as well put the corresponding parts on the other side, and then we can get on to painting those bits that need touch-ups, and the bits on the sprue that need to go on next. And, yeah. Alright. You are gonna fucking stay there. Oh no. Oh, we're in like. Alright. Sometimes I kind of amuse myself with what I get frustrated with. Note use of the adjective sometimes. Now, okay, so we get other bits. Fishing. Look, good and bad. Certainly wasn't ugly. We caught, was it 8, I think. We're trying new spots. Bottom line, my mate made the observation. He's entirely correct. I mean, we've only been fishing that river for less than a year. And to fully understand where all the best fish are, we need to go up and down the system and track it down and get onto it. And this is what we've been slowly doing. We checked out one place that looked really good. We'd seen a video with this blind guy fishing it. We gave it a whirl. Not real exciting, bit of a prick tease. And anyway, bottom line comes out at so this is going to go. So through this again last time, didn't I? There and there. Yep. Yep. Okay. Now, yeah. Anyway, so we went there. It really wasn't happening so well. We took our break, as you do. We have a very set structure in what we do, and then we went to a couple of other places. We found a couple of really good spots, and one of them that was just so easy to get to. It was great, and it was a fairly productive spot. Now I doubt you would know the town I'm talking about, but it's a really fairly small town. It's more of a historical place called Old Noarlunga, and it's, geez, that glue is piercing out. That's better. A little touch there. Anyway, Oops. Maybe that's, it should be there. Anyway, and there was this place, and all we had to do was once we got out of the car, it was a bit slippery because of the tide receding. But when all was said and done, it was a pretty much 5 meters from a footpath, and you just flick the line about, or maybe 3 meters out. There with a fish. So, yeah. And to find a spot that easy and accessible, yeah, you know, that's a pretty big win. Accessibility is always a good thing. I'm pretty sure you can understand my line of thought on that one. So yeah, that's somewhere we were looking at. One of the other spots we checked out that was pretty damn sexy. Didn't produce as much as we had hoped, but has so much going on with it. It actually came with steps down to the water, and it then and at that point, once you've gone down the steps, you've got access to this whole riverbank that pretty much you got the bank, and then it just drops into reasonably deep water. Boom. And again, not far out, and away you go. Now, this one goes there. Righty. Something I can do, and indeed will do. I always find, now first let's keep an eye on the piece. Where the fuck did I put the piece? There we go. Let's keep an eye on that. Did not need that. I don't want to bend over in this chair. It won't necessarily support. Fortunately, got a bit here. What I'm doing is, I've got dry glue on the glue on the tweezers. I find sanding it's a good idea. Of course, that, in theory, removes the glue, meaning that the instruments can be used again. Pretty cool. Hang on, let us just check. Should be right. Robin. Ah, that'll be that easy then. You're not really getting a good view of it, but yeah. It's fairly standard and as was before, as you'd expect. But you should always check these things first, I think. Or you could be letting yourself in for a world of hurt. Now, hang on a moment. Let me just check something else one more time. It is 18. I've got there, isn't it? It is 18. That's fine. For a brief moment there, I thought I might have taken the wrong part, which would have been, well, what we old men call extremely inconvenient. Actually, I don't call it that. I call it fucked. But, or alternatively, I call myself you stupid bastard. Hmm. Actually, I've never called myself that. I call myself a Wally. Might call myself various other expletives. But I don't think I've ever called myself a stupid bastard. Yeah. There we go. Nice. That one was cooperative once the okay, and at that point it's 19, which was a curse until we identified that it goes there and then there. Alright. So let's do 19. Once we get to there, I'm at the point where I'm actually going to need to get a hold and fold, which is kind of cool. 19. I'll show you once I've got this part on. That is really a very detailed suspension mechanism they got. Not that I mind. Oh. I had a couple of my vids suspended from or removed from Instagram because apparently there was music on it, which there so isn't. And my frustration is I actually did get YouTube doing that to me. I had some Pink Floyd playing in the background. And it's just like, for fuck's sake, so you're telling me I can't have my stereo playing while I'm streaming? Well, don't do it. And I got rumbled by somebody anyway. What the hell? I ask you, peeps. Anyway, I want that. Why? Yeah, now. Okay, so that would go that way around. Now, let's just that's at an angle there is not going to help our cause. Or is getting that in the wrong spot. Fiddly, fiddly, fiddly. Let me just have a... Oh, Jesus, they crossed the land on the paper. Did not need that behaviour. It's about 19. It's not been very friendly on either side, I must say. And breathe, Rob. And breathe. The bloody thing. They put. Now I am officially pissed off. Okay, I'm going to have to move my chair and get out the thing and pray I can find the piece that just scooched off the table. Now, in a worst case scenario, there are options I can perhaps think about. If I can't find it immediately, we will just get on with the painting and I'll work out some other way of addressing that. Beyond going on a killing spree. Let's just, alright, stay very calm. I haven't trodden on it. Okay, I'm going to get, it might be there. I'm going to get a torch out. Give me a very brief moment. And in a worst case scenario, as I said, find a way of addressing that. And not worry about it. Till later anyway. But we'll to get some painting done. All is well. Well, actually, no, it's not, but we'll leave that discussion there too. And now, time to play the eternal game of the old grey bearing, what he used to be. Is my knees grown? Hang on. Oh, we might be in a bit lucky, mate. That's way too big. That ain't it. But I'm really... Oh, here we go. There we go. And this is the point where if Dirty Harry asked me, do you feel lucky, punk? The answer is, yeah, I do, actually. Now... Gotta get back up. God damn kilogram, how do you figure? And up we get. Now... My family and I had a... one of my nephews is in Malta at the moment. So we had a cam call with him last night, and he was saying how, you know, a lot of young people in Malta get off on quite traditional and old school stuff. And he said it'd be like kids riding on, you know, crowd surfing to sheepdog trial sort of stuff over here. And he said, you know, they're like standing on each other's shoulders just to see this shit. He said, there's a reason why old people don't do that, mate. He said, you know, you don't see the old people doing it, it's just the young people on there. Yeah, there's a reason why old people don't ride the other people's shoulders, mate. Because our joints won't take it. He's going, oh yeah, yeah, damn right. This is come out of there, damn you. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those. Put glue on, be quick. Maybe I would be well advised in the future. Let's go that way, so that's a good starting point now, isn't it? I might get some of that thin glue that allows that pliability, as it were. Alright, let's do it. Then I'm going to take a very, very brief break, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to paint some bits. One thing I will show you that's kind of cool, that's actually a new addition to this, is something I might do a bit of work on. Put him in there? No, I have not put him in there. I say I've got the head in there. You're wondering what I'm waffling about. And an arm in there. There's an arm in there. Give me a moment. Here he is. I've got a figure. At the moment, a headless figure, I'll grant you. But a figure that a mate gave me. I've still put the head on, and what I'm going to do, I've got to do a bit of working out on this one as to how exactly I'm going to do it. When I get him, might have him at an angle, but then I'll have him with his radio command thing in operation. Although I'm not sure if it's this one he needs to go into. Which I have again. I mean, if I put him through there, yeah, then I've got him on the radio as he drives along and shooting's going on. Conveying orders or something's happening anyway. Yeah. The head is for some reason, and arm is for some reason separate. As to why that is, I don't know. I'm going to hit that with some pre-coat at some stage. I'm not doing that one today, but I just thought I'd show you that because I thought that was kind of cool. Now let's get this piece on, shall we? Okay. Right. Yeah. That way. Right. Pretty happy with that. After all the rumbles. Dear, oh dear, mate. But at least, actually I'll zoom you in. Final analysis. Whilst there are touch-ups required. Here we go, here's our suspension coming on. As I said, there are some touch-ups we're going to need to do on the paintwork, but that's okay. That's okay. Then once we've done those touch-ups, we'll throw a bit more grime on, but also we've got some other painting to do before we even get to that. So, bits we're going to be working on are the bits off of these two sprues. Most probably pertaining to the suspension. What I'm probably going to do, just trying to, there we go. Look at our assembly instructions, because we've almost done that bit. We just need to do a bit of painting on some stuff. Once we've done that, we start getting to the hull. We've got to clear a bit of stuff out of that part, bend that photo etch, and then we start getting into the hull assembly. Now, with that in mind, I'm thinking it's probably not going to be an entirely silly idea to for me to airbrush a whole stack of shit in the appropriate green in due course. Something I can consider as well. Having a quick look here. I'm just gonna, would there be a problem for me to do that? No, shouldn't be. What I'm looking at is whether there's any reason why, because what they've got you doing is you assemble the suspension, you do these little bits, then you put the wheels on. Well, I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't I put the wheels on first? Just to keep the suspension nice and tidy. I'm certainly struggling to see a reason. There. There we go. Yeah, well, that's pretty straightforward. Alright. There's a bit of photo etch action here. That one's a bit more straightforward. No need for a hold and fold. All you do is pop that in, leave those open. Intriguing. Anyway, so I'm thinking that once we get the suspension finished, I'm going to put the wheels on. Because, well, why not? Pretty straightforward. And that'll just keep it off the suspension will be nice and off the ground. Rather than leaving it on the ground with stuff on it, you know what I mean? Alright. Now, on that note, what's backwards? I'm also curious about these vent things. As a colour. Doesn't really give any indication there should be a different colour at all of anything. See on the outside there. What I'm going to do very quickly. So these little vents, and they don't really. I guess they're just normal green then. Okay. Okay. Foist. Let us pop that there. You heard that 5 minutes ago. God, I'm a bit silent. What was it that was backwards? I hope it's not backwards now. God damn, my stomach's making some cute. Ah, you're talking about with regards to the assembly instructions are done kind of strangely. Yeah, it's you got the one side there, one side there, and they just certainly did my head in. I think a bit before you actually came on. Anyway, I'm going to take a very short break, as I said, and I'll be back, and then we're going to look at painting some of this stuff. Now I want to maybe do a gunmetal grain there as a bit of a, or maybe a greasy oil steel maneuver. That'd probably be a good option. Maybe do part of that. I think the exterior would be the green, but as for what the interior is, I'll have a closer look. D17. There's a whole stack of stuff we do need to do to finish the suspension. That done. Wheels will go on. And then, but along the way we can do some hull work. Alrighty. But that won't all happen in this stream, that much we know. Alright, I'll be back shortly, man. Alrighty. Now, with that drying, what the hell is that? That's fishing line, for fuck's sake, Rob. I've got so much that goes on in the space that I use. Things overlap. And this time I found fishing line at my modelling desk. What the fuck, eh? Cool. Now, 16 goes down here, and I'm thinking a bit of oily steel in the middle, but looking at the part, it's, oh no, and 17. Similar sort of deal, I reckon. We've got main colour on it. We might hit that with some oily steel. Now then we come to these little numbers here. So we're going to need 32, same sort of a colour, 37. Now 37 I wouldn't mind maybe doing, and I can, now 37, where does it go specifically? Because there's these big chunky bits, I'm wondering, okay, they don't need to be dropped off, do they? Some big, 37 is that bit, and you can see there's some big chunky bits of extra sprue that I don't need on there. In fact, okay, that's actually already painted. Okay. What I can do then, just quickly. Right, now, one of the things that's interesting about this as a kit is they give you pretty much two of everything. In a sense, now 42, give me a moment. Here they are. Right, so I'd say they are air vents. They would be green, but maybe a bit of gunmetal grey in there wouldn't hurt. Would be the deal. Because it wouldn't be gunmetal grey or it wouldn't be green inside. That's my theory. So I might just pop them to there. Now, there's quite a lot of stuff we can work on here. Anyway, foist things, foist kids. Now, paper. Where's the acrylic paper? It dawned on me while I was getting my coffee and having my break that when you said it's backward, might have been referring to Malta. And yeah, I'd say it's probably not the most technologically advanced place in the world. Apparently, it's quite a I mean, strategically, it's got a fascinating history as a place. I might just not finding my paper. There's me paper. A few more moments. Looks, otherwise I'm not going to go and grab a piece. Because it's just not that fucking hard, you know, man. Well, hello. Here we go. And you just got started on that one. Jolly good. Back in a minute. Now, when that thought occurred to me, it also occurred to me that the tale of a guy named David Boone, who no relation to Daniel, who played cricket for Australia, and he came from a state of Australia called Tasmania, which you may or may not have heard of. You'll see where this is going. This is a backward thing. You'll soon get the picture. And anyway, he was, it must be said, top notch in his position, in his fielding position, and a really good batsman. But he's a short guy. He's only about 5'8", solidly built. He but he came from Tasmania, which in Australia we always play the fuck out of the Tasmanians, calling them inbreeders. They're not actually rednecks or nothing. If anything, they're more progressive than that. But it's just one of those, we rib them. Why? Because they're Tasmanian. What can I tell you? Anyway, as an aside, I believe Errol Flynn was a Tasmanian. Be that as it may, and he used to fill a position called backward square leg, usually short, close in, which was actually called short backward square leg. That was his fielding position. But of course, he was physically short. He was from Tasmania, backward. And a comedian who once put out a bit of a parody of some commentary described him as the 5'2" Tasmanian with the flared trousers, hence short backward square leg. Yeah. Don't know if that amuses you. It amused those of us who were Australian and listening to what we heard. Anyway, now goggles on. Now what I'm thinking, you'll soon see what I'm thinking here. Because, hang on. And once I've got it done, I'll zoom in so you can see why I've done it, hopefully. This will in turn get a bit grimed up, and I'll put it with some mud and some oil and stuff. It would be exposed to a fair slice of that. Alright, so, possibly a little clumsy, but parts. So what I'm doing is creating, in theory, there's the metal bars, this is the suspension. They're going to be sort of that sort of position. The oil is required for that. Boink, boink, boink. Once I grind it up, it'll look a bit little bit stale. Of course, I'll hit it with varnish, yada, yada, yada. But that's the idea. I'm just going to pop them there for the time being whilst I do these ones. Right, getting there. Beautiful. Right. And likewise, there we go. There's our Cielo Inglesado put onto the those. So that's those ones done. There we go. That's 16 and 17. We need 32, 34. The 34 to me looks like it also requires a wee bit of inglesado. Well, that doesn't look right. Let's see 34. Okay, they're all on C. Now D, I've already painted. Excellent. We're making some okay progress here. So, C34. Looking, not finding. Robin 34. There should be another one of those. I would suggest. Would seem implausible. Hang on a moment. Or no. So C34 here. Let's just get that one done. Uh, there. Right, 34 there. Now, give me a quick moment. Robin. Whoops. Now then. It's a jolly rum thing. Give me a moment. Wouldn't just be on one side, would it? That wouldn't make any sense. We're hearing bits of my the parts of the Staghound slide around. It's kind of funny. Now, should be along there. Right. That suggests to me. Give me a moment. I'm going to quickly clean my brush. Now. Now. Now, the next stream, as a quick little aside, I'm thinking, aside from the Halifax and all that, we might get a bit of prepping done on some elements of the Lancaster for the big stream. Because that's not too far away now. Yeah. Yeah, give me a moment. Now then. Now then. Deedly. Robin. I'm not going to do my own here. I don't think I have misplaced a sprue. That's the problem I've got here. Nonetheless, we'll continue with other stuff, kids. God damn. Yeah, I have so got to get this chair fixed, or replaced rather, today. That's a bit of a non-negotiable. I can actually already feel it's not doing my back any favours. As I'm just getting over a bloody injury, I don't need a assistant, you know what I mean? Now. Alright. So, next, we will go back to our D sprues. And oops, let's put in. We're looking at parts 32 and that's it, just part 32. Alright. And then we'll do some that gunmetal grey bit I was going to do in 41 and whatever the other number is. 41 and 42, I think it is. Then we'll continue to go through the bits and see what else, what other bits of colour we might want to put on. Then we'll go the neutral grey. So that's what I've used in a lot of the suspension that would be consistent therefore. Neutral grey. .32. Don't really need to goggles on for this. There's no real trick to them. At least from the viewpoint of it's only one colour. How hard can it be? I haven't put any pre-code on that. Am I? Yeah, I have. This doesn't look that one. I've done it one side, that's what the problem here is. Now, there we go, 32. I haven't done that side of that though. Correct that, hey? I better check the other one then. Yep, that's been on both sides. Alrighty. Clean brush for a moment. Oh, hey, Papa, how you doing, buddy? Been doing a bit of undercarriage work on the Staghound. Now I'm doing a wee bit of detailing. I'll show you where I'm at with it at the moment. Give us a tick. Bing, yep. So yeah, that's the state we're at with the undercarriage. It's pretty much the same on both sides. Yeah, there's the actual undercarriage. It's coming along. There were a couple of parts that need to go on that I realised weren't painted, hence why I'm doing that now. I'm figuring, well, I might as well do a few other bits. And I will too. I'll zoom you back out. Nice. Nice. Okay. Now these, I believe, gentlemen, ultimately become our exhausts. Because, if you look, this being step 7, there being yada yada, they actually go there at the rear, and that looks very much like exhaust to me, you'd think. Where the fuck's the engine on this thing go, I wonder? Intriguing. Anyway. Now, so, that would just be the same, actually, no, it wouldn't be an exhaust, would it now? Okay, first things first. Gunmetal grey, because I was going to bing, found them. Yeah, there's a bit of rain heading your way, Papa. Or has it already arrived? go into here with this. There. I don't reckon the vents would be that nice, pretty green. I'm really happy with how that shovel's come up. So yeah. Well, that's the egg. That's not bad. I think the shovel's come up real well. Anyway, now that I've stroked my own ego, fuck. Yeah, yeah. Look, the East Coast has copped a fair old hammering. We got a fair bit of rain here in Adelaide. Yeah, nah. You guys are copping it hard. Now, moving around. Okay, colours to utilise here, kids. This is a trick. Of course, if it's an exhaust manifold, the answers are easy. We're going to be going oily steel and then giving a dry brush with tinny tin to create a rusty look. That's going to be the deal. I bet they fucking are. I remember one of my sisters lives on the Gold Coast. And a couple of years ago, she reckoned that if you washed something, unless you had a dryer, you were kidding yourself to think it was going to get dry. It would just stay wet. She said you could leave a sponge on the table and it would actually absorb. Now, whether she's exaggerating on that one, I don't know. But either way, you get the picture. It was pretty fucking ugly. So I would not be in the least bit surprised if they were making a righteous killing. And in their defence, not hay while the sun shines, but you get the picture. Now, I'm thinking with this, they would be the mufflers. That would probably be a seal, so I should do the D52s black as an opinion. Yeah, so first we'll do that black. I see D52 and I wanna paint it black. I'm gonna stop there, guys. That's never good, man. Yeah, give me a moment. I'm just trying to spot my black. Let's play spot the black. There. No, that's dark grey. Dear, oh dear, kids. It's around here somewhere. So that's something I'm going to do before I do the big stream. I'm actually going to tidy my desk up thoroughly so I know exactly where everything is. It will be less of an issue. Early on, but as I get more tired, I'm just not going to want to be going, where's shit? I'm going to be able to go, okay. That's my theory. That is my theory, and what it is too. Cheesy grin from the big man, if you can name or identify where that comes from. Number 52. Come here, come on. Where are you? Don't be shy now. Oh, really? That's because that's C, Rob. Aha! So it's actually a solid piece. Interesting. Alright, anyway, so 52. 53. 52 will definitely do black. My desk chair is officially knackered. I'm halfway thinking of using a plastic picnic chair that sits fairly upright. The short term, this one is what we board men call fucked. That'll be our seal. Oh, sorry, that was terrible. Here we go. That's why he's having a sleep in. Good on him. Got work today. Normally he's up and about by now. Unless he's decided to go work and go and get it for the day, and if so, I guess that's his prerogative. Now, put that there. Next, clean brush. I reckon once I've got these exhaust bits set up, what I'm going to do is wind the stream up, do my usual brekkie manoeuvre, and get things organised for the next stream, where I'll be looking at, I think, probably a lot of work on the Halifax and a bit more prepping on the Lank. I want to get a lot of prepping done on that. I've done some good work on it so far. I'm pretty happy with a lot of it. Anyway, I'm waffling a bit, as I am prone to do. So we're looking at 49, 53, 51. '52 and '55. Look at something from get over there. 50 and 51, that makes perfect sense. Okay. Oh, conveniently, I can check most of the numbers as we go along. Boffo. Alright. Now, that's... And in fact, I don't even need to be too fussy with my brush, because they're all going to be that colour. So, I reckon that that'll do the job for us nicely. last blob of oil still should be a go around. Indeed it is. So we are going. There's 49 required. 49 is required. Righty. All right. And 53. Uh, 52's been done. 55. 54 of this. 54's got no say in it. So 55 being that little part there. And once this is dried, so we'll give a dry brush with the tinting to create a rusty sort of effect. Like we've done on the shovel. Now, and so I keep thinking I must have missed something, but it doesn't look like I have. We're good. That's one done. And we will repeat the process. Then, and then I'll wind the stream up. And I will be back in about 2.5 hours to do work on our aircraft. Still a wee bit grumpy about the Spitfire. But I'm going to work a way around dealing with things as you do. I've worked out how I can do with one part of it anyway. But yeah, very annoying. It's just one is going to make it that the seat is probably, oh no, I'll see how low the seat of the Spitfire needs to be. Thinking ahead, just keep my mind on the job here at the moment. I'm doing the Staghound. That's the line by Yoda. On the present, your mind must be. Yeah, we'll do this one. There. Just do the ends here. Because ultimately they've got to be stuck together. Yep, all right. Sweet, light, and petite. Once I've done. All right. All right. Now, I am going to clean my brush. And then I'm going to wind up the stream. Then I'll be back in 2.5 hours or so. Well, probably a little bit less. I can always bang on 2.5. Alrighty. Now. There we go. This chair is awful. Alrighty, guys. Yes, I shall indeed. What have I just knocked off? Jesus, the chair's awful. Jesus, you can see how bad it is. I'll worry about that later. This chair's borderline dangerous. I'll be glad to replace that this afternoon, I tell you. After that rather moment, thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, as I said, 2.5 hours. I'll be back, and we'll be onto the aircraft. As always, I'm going to finish with my usual spiel of the different platforms I am available on for the unaware. And indeed, for anybody who is watching for the first time, hey, follow, like, subscribe. What can I tell you? Yeah. So yeah, whichever platform you might be watching me on, if you would like to track me down on others, I am Rob the Builder on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, and YouTube, and Robster the Builder on Instagram and Twitch. And again, we all know the magic words, people. It's not open sesame. It's follow, like, subscribe. You get the picture, I'm sure. There we have it. Okay. Thanks for watching again, and I'll be back in 2.5 hours for all the fun and games that modelling brings. Catch you then.